A good evening everyone, and welcome to tonight's flight from Las Palmas, Gran Canaria to Malaga. Now, Malaga is a place I've not been to in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, although I do know that one of the runways is missing, so we will plan not to land on that one, shall we? Hope you've all had a great Friday. Is it Friday today? They all merge into one, don't they? Yeah, it's Friday today. It's the weekend, so why not celebrate with a flight? We're heading back from Gran Canaria, where we landed the other day, back to mainland Spain. It's quite a nice lengthy flight for an evening stream, so I'll be with you throughout, so that's good. Great to see you all in the chat, standing by. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this flight with me. We'll have a nice smooth ride. I am back in the custom fly-by-wire build. Thank goodness for that. Might actually be able to handle this aircraft when it comes to a nice steady touchdown. So it'd be great to see you for this stream. Alright, so let's not hang around, let's get into the flight deck. One thing I will tell you is that we are not on live time. We are on live weather, but we are not on live time. We're actually going to be arriving at dawn in Malaga, so the sun's coming up. I don't know if we can see that anywhere yet in the sim. There's a little orange glow there, I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, so we're going to have a nice dawn arrival as we come into Malaga. So, good evening to everyone in the chat. Let's get started. I need my pushback helper to come and get that gate, and then we shall start loading yourselves, our passengers. Ah, Kevin, never say never. Never say never. Alright, let's get the cockpit preparation sorted. Start with turn those dome lights on, get the batteries on. There we go. Let's have some ground power, please, from the Gran Canaria ground services. And here we go.
Gran Canaria ground Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, could you please send a ground power unit?
Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, the ground power unit is on the road.
Okay, so the ground power unit is on its way. I've got the time set in the sim. It is 6:54 Zulu, or UTC, however you prefer. And we've also got these nice looking textures again in the custom fly-by-wire build. Very nice. We've also got my EasyJet copies back and the fly pad. Thank goodness. Okay, let's get that external power connected. And with that, let's start going through our flows. So passenger signs, no portable devices, and the emergency exit signs now on. Let's turn those fuel pumps on and do our fire check. Engine 1, engine 2, and the APU. Oh, okay, here at Gran Canaria as well, we're not allowed to start the APU until 5 minutes before our pushback, so we shall leave that for a while just yet. So other than that, that's all fine. Let's get the jetway start connected, and then we can start loading you guys on board for this flight. We've no air traffic control online. We are on VATSIM, but we've no air traffic control online here, so we can pretty much do our own thing within reason. All connected up. Let's tell self-loading cargo then to start getting you guys on board. Reese, how many people did you say are coming into Glasgow? Jesus, that's a lot. Glad we're not going there.
Cabin crew, yeah, we've completed the checks, so now you can open the doors and start getting the passengers on board.
Lewis 0.5.3 is the current stable build that has been released now for a few months. The patch for it is not yet released. We discovered some problems with it yesterday, didn't we, if you were watching that stream. So I think they have now fixed those problems, but it is just undergoing further tests. at the moment. Here's a new feature for you though. Have a look at this. We have a brake fan, and we can turn the brake fan on. And can you hear that? A little buzzing from the brake fan. So the brake fan is now working. I thought we actually got an ECAM message if the brake fan was on. Let's just check those wheel temperatures. Now, we don't actually need the brake fan on. It's they're well within range at 20 degrees. But that's a nice little thing to add. ACA, visual ILS or RNAV? Haven't decided yet. Probably be an ILS, I think. Let's get that brake fan turned off. But yeah, that's nice to see, isn't it? Pedestal is looking all good. Here come you guys, here come the passengers. Cockpit preparation then. I know what I haven't done. Let me give you the current METAR. Hang on guys, I'll give you the current METAR for Gran Canaria, Las Palmas. Very nice weather here. Very, very nice. Nothing to worry about or concern us. In fact, look at that wind. Look at that wind. Dark food at Malaga Airport freeware. No, I'm just going to the default. We'll see what we can find when we get there. So there's the current METAR, and if anybody wants to follow the flight plan, here it is. Okay, so 1018. Let's get those set. 1018 both set and cross check. Let's come down now and pop the flight directors on. And we can also look at our instrument panel, get these set. IRS alignment in 3 minutes time. Right, I suppose we should have a look at the flight management guidance system and setting that up as well. So, let's come down here, see if this pulls things through from SimBrief OK for me. Let me just turn that up, that's looking a little bit dark as well, isn't it? Clear the flight number in use, we'll change that in a moment. So let's head to the ATSU menu, AOC, init press, and the data request, let that pull through. Las Palmas to Malaga, 2 hours flight time. So I'm here with you for the duration of this flight as well, so you've got me for the whole 2 hours tonight. And AOC menu, in fact I'm just going to change my flight management computer flight number to EZ. In fact I can't do that, it won't let me change that. Oh, I don't think it will, let me just try. EZY34 Alpha Mike. I don't think it lets me change that, guys. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's okay, that doesn't matter. Okay, let's have a look at our weights then. So if we come back to the AOC menu, performance weight and balance page, let's check these weights are correct. Good evening Nick, great to see you. Digital flight deck, hello. Block fuel 6678, that is correct. Let's get that loaded in. And our passengers, what have we got on board? 171 of you tonight, and a payload of 17784. 17784. There we go. Let's get that loaded in as well. Zero fuel weight is 58.8. That matches up, and our current gross weight is 55.5 tons with a takeoff weight of 55.3, well, 0.26. So yeah, that's pretty good. That all matches quite nicely. Okay, let's come and start setting this up. Check the aircraft status. We've got the current active AirX cycle. That is good. Let's go to our init A page and start pulling these in. So init request, not in database. Okay, let's clear that, try that again. There we go. So let's pop the alternate in then. So our alternate tonight is Madrid, Lima Echo Mike Delta. Lima Echo Mike Delta. Let's change the flight number to EZ34 Alpha Mike. Cost in flight number in use. Who's using my flight number, guys? EZY34 Alpha Mike. How very dare you? Oh, can't be having that. Okay, I'll leave that as it is for now. Cost index 8. And a... oh, that's changed now. Easy 3-4 Alpha Mike, that's nice. So, cruise flight level 360 and a temperature of -57. So we just need to change that to 360 and -57 degrees. Tropopause is 39620, 39800. That's close enough. I'll take that. No problem there. Lewis, no, they've not redone the flight textures. These textures are part of the dev build, and they have been for a while now. So that's fine. So there's our Init A setup. Let's move down to the flight plan. So, slight difference in the flight plan. It says 21 right for departure. We're actually going to use runway 03 left. With no air traffic control here. The winds are light, so I'm going for 03 left. And quick check on flight radar 24. That was the latest runway they were using anyway. So that is via the Coral 8 Alpha. There it is, departure. So I can get that in now. Let that populate. And that looks all good via Lanzarote. So we fly over Lanzarote, and then when we get to Malaga, then it is an arrival on runway 12. It'll be the ILS runway 12 Zulu. And which star is that? That is the Victor Juliet Fox 2 Kilo. It'll be right down at the bottom, won't it? Victor Juliet Fox 2 Kilo, and that is via... is it via Amigo or Tulsu? Let me have a double check. So that will be via... I believe that's via Amigo. Checking the charts. Yes, it is via Amigo. So that's correct. Let's get that inserted. Alright, so now that's all done, let's just do our gross error check on the distance. 805 miles showed in the computer and 834 miles in the on the OFP. So that's good enough. I'm happy with that. So, flight plan imported, and let's just go to the RadNav page. What do we need to key into this? We need to just key in one of the VORs for the departure, which is the Gran Canaria VOR, which is Golf Delta Victor. Golf Delta Victor. Pop that in, 112.9. That is correct. Beautiful. So RadNav is set up. Let's have a look at our Init B page, which tonight shall not break when we enter everything in. So our zero fuel weight is 58.8, 58.8, and zero fuel weight center of gravity standard 30. Trip wind tonight, slight tailwind of 11. Let's get that popped in. And let's check the fuel planning. So fuel planning is suggesting 5.1. We're taking much more than that. We're currently planning for 6.6. 6.6. Pop that in, let it all populate. There's our takeoff weight of 65.3, which is accurate. Let's just have a look at the fuel for our alternate. So alternate plan fuel is about 1.5 tons. 1.5, which gives us a trip time of 44 minutes. That's bang on. Excellent. Alright, so that all looks good. Our landing weight there is 61.2. Our landing weight on the OFP is actually 61.4. But we all know at the moment this aircraft doesn't burn fuel accurately, so not too worried about that. But the estimated fuel on board when we get to Malaga, 2.3. Alright, so now let's have a look at our takeoff performance page. Now the Init B is complete, so takeoff performance, our transition altitude here is 6,000 feet. And thrust reduction can go back. Let's check, should be 1050 and 1050, so both the same. Flaps 1 for departure and a flex temp calculation of 67. with that, let's calculate these V speeds. 137, 133, and 132. All is looking good there. Okay guys, so let's just talk briefly through our departure briefing. Departing runway 03 left. It is the Corral 8 Alpha departure. Our initial climb out is 10,000 feet, however, we are not allowed above 4,000 feet until passing the waypoint Islet. And I think if we look there, that's even coded in into that. So what I'm going to do, our stop climb altitude for this departure is 10,000 feet. Let's pop the constraints on, which means, let me just check the plan mode. So there we go. By ICOS we do need to be above 1,100 feet. That is correct according to the chart, so that's nice to see. And if I just scroll down, you'll see there we want to be, well now strangely enough that says above 4,000 feet. That is incorrect. Can I go in and change that? So that says altitude constraint above 4,000 feet. That is not true. We want to be at or below 4,000 feet. So can I go in and alter that? It has changed that, you know. That'll be interesting to see then what happens on departure. I think to update the navigation display I just need to flick it from airport over to constraint again. There we go. So Islet we need to be at or below 4,000 feet. So that's going to be very interesting to see if that works. We'll leave the aircraft in manage mode for departure then, shall we? And we shall see what happens with that. After Islet then it's up to 10,000 feet and that's our stop climb altitude for the takeoff. It's actually flight level 10 as the transition altitude here is 6,000 feet. So the minimum safe altitude for this departure is 6,000 feet as well. Threats, let's just chat about those. So nothing to worry about with regards to the weather. The aircraft is absolutely fine. I'm back on the custom fly-by-wire build A320, so that's good. No times to worry about. The threats, however, we do have terrain to the left of us as we depart, so to the west of the airport. Big rock, big hill, we don't want to fly into that, so if anything happens we'll keep to the east of the airport. So other than that, that should be fine. We're below our takeoff weight is below the maximum landing weight, so should we need to return we've got no problem returning here, so that's good. Valgrind full on managed mode never works 100% for you except for the GPS navigation, even with the fly-by-wire. Well, we're about to test the theory, aren't we? One of the problems you've got with the managed mode is if the constraints are incorrect, then the aircraft is not going to do what you expect it to do. It can only do what the navigation data tells it is allowed to do, so be interesting to see how that departure works. Now, I think that's self-loading cargo telling me that everybody is now on board. Indeed they are, so glad you're all here and strapped in. Let's get those doors closed then, shall we? We're just about done with our preparation. We're going to contact ATC in a moment and then we'll run the before start checklist.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer now, so once everyone's on board, we can close the doors and we'll get going.
Okay. Let's get that main door closed.
Great. We're almost done. We'll let you know as soon as everyone's on board. It shouldn't take much longer.
Check those doors. I think they've finished with the cargo as well now, so they can go. Jetway can pull back.
Hi Captain, all passengers are on board and doors have been closed.
Richard, what are you doing in the cargo hold?
Thank you.
Get out.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello from flight deck. My name is Gavin and I'm your captain today, and I'd like to welcome you on board this Easyjet A320neo aircraft. We're not expecting any delays, we're going to get Pushback pretty soon. The guys on the ground have just popped the last of the luggage away, so if you can assist the cabin crew in getting yourself sat down, seatbelts on, everything fastened, and give them your full attention for that safety briefing, and we'll get going as soon as possible. Once again, thank you for choosing Easyjet, and we hope you enjoy the flight today.
Alright, so let's just tune over to Unicom. which is 122.80. I also just need to bring up the ground charts for where we are. I don't actually know if we've got any other traffic with us here. It doesn't look like it. Oh, that sky's turning nice and orange, nice rusty orange now, isn't it? Can't see anybody else, but we will just make a courtesy call. That is a static aircraft that you can see over there, that Delta aircraft. That is not a real aircraft. Can't turn that off, unfortunately. Alright, I'm going to turn those first officer displays down as well, just to help with our frame rates. So the cockpit preparation is complete, signs are on and auto, the ideas are aligned into nav mode. Fuel quantity is checked, loaded and balanced. Flight management guidance system is all coded correctly. Altimeter is set and cross-check 1018. So at this point we also start to call the tug. Where's that trusty tug driver? If anyone's wondering how I'm calling this without chatting to air traffic control, little pushback tool called Pushback Helper, available on VATSIM.to. Scanning 941, unless you are in a Delta 747, which you could be, I guarantee you that that is a static aircraft over there. It's part of the scenery here. This is freeware scenery for Las Palmas, Gran Canaria as well, by the way. Again, available on flightsim.to. Okay, so there's the tug driver connected up. Let's just announce our intentions on
Gran Canaria traffic Easyjet will be pushing back after the Speedbird will taxi to the runway.
Strangely enough, my VPilot then was receiving communications, but it wasn't actually saying I was connected. So, oh good lord, right, okay, what's happened there? We've just spawned into someone. We're going to have to get out of here pretty quickly, because that's quite upsetting. Oh, when VPilot does strange things. Dragon Air traffic, Easy34 Alpha Mike is pushing back, tail to the north, and we'll be taxiing for a runway 03 left departure. Alright, let's get out of here pretty quickly. So, let's get the rotating beacon light on. Tug's there, APU is now starting. We couldn't start until 5 minutes before our departure as well, remember? Chewy, that's a horrible thought to have on a Friday night. AP, yeah, all my static aircraft are also disabled, but if a developer adds a static aircraft to their freeware scenery airport, sadly you can't get rid of it. Nothing you can do about that. So, Chibu, I can apologise for that. My VPilot was receiving radio communications but not showing aircraft. So, I'll just wave to you there, look. Can you see me? There you go. I'll give you a little wave as you push back out of the way of me. So, if we just have a look out there. Passenger view, there you are. Right, so I'm just waiting for this APU to fire up and then we can disconnect the ground power. APU is now available. Let's get that APU bleed on. We can disconnect ground power. Get the rotating beacon light on. Nose wheel steering is disconnected. Check that IQ brake pressure. Transponder to auto. And parking brake is currently on, thrust levers set to idle. Let's just run the before start checklist. Below the line, so windows and doors are closed, and have we armed them? Self-loading cargo guys?
A320 Easyjet will try to push back farther, so just so that you can push back too.
Roger, Easy34 Alpha Mike, we'll hold our position here until you've completed your pushback. Okay, so we'll just wait for Chimo to get out of the way. Bless him. Right. Rotating beacon light is on, mobile phone is off, and parking brake is currently on. So we'll just wait here for a moment. He's moving out the way now there, bless him. Let's have a quick look behind us then, guys, shall we? MFS pilot, have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Chiru, mate, have you got any of your lights on? You're looking like a very dark aircraft from here at the moment. Okay, so there's our pushback clearance. We're going to start pushing back now, and we shall start the engines. So let's release the parking brake.
Company Airbus A320, you can start your pushback.
Roger, Easy34 Alpha Mike is starting our pushback now. Okay. So, engine mode select to norm and starting engine 1. We'll have a quick look out the window then as this happens. Make sure we're not pushing back into another aircraft. Oh, plenty of room there. Thank you, Chimu. We've got plenty of room now. So engine 1 is starting. Logan, since the new update, has anyone had the sim crashing? No, I haven't, but there's a couple of reasons I can think of why it may. If the community folder wasn't emptied prior to updating, that's one. If you've got scenery which is clashing with the update, that is another potential reason.
There are 6 emergency exits on the
I love those aircraft sounds.
To locate the one closest to you and note that it may be behind you. Count the number of rows to the exit. Should the cabin experience pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this, and pull the strap to tighten.
Wow, we're
it.
holding up the traffic line
If
here,
you are
aren't we? There's
traveling
going to be a
with
right convoy
children,
landing
make
in
sure you
Malaga.
put your own mask on first before helping others. In
There's
the
that sun
unlikely
coming up,
event of an
guys. Nice to
emergency
see.
landing and evacuation, leave your carry-on luggage and items behind. Life rafts are located below your seats, and emergency lighting in the floors will lead you to the closest exit. We ask that you make sure that all carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. While we wait for takeoff, please take a moment
Starting
to review the
engine
safety
2.
procedures on the card in the pocket in front of you. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Okay, pushback is complete. Let's set those parking brakes. Just waiting for engine 2 to spool up and stabilize. Once the engines are spooled up, we'll announce the pushback is clear, and we'll announce our taxi clearance, which I believe, charts don't go into too much detail down here, but it is Romeo 11 all the way down to the end, and then it's a left turn to taxi via Romeo 2. Scandi 941, it's nice to have you join us for the first time. I know you've been a long time supporter of the channel, so thank you for that. Engine 2 is now stabilized, so engine mode select can come back to norm, APU bleed can come off, no anti-ash required for this, APU master can come on, ground spoilers 1, armed and flaps 1, just checking my center of gravity 297. Let's have a quick look at this, shall we? Difficult to see these. There we go. It's about right. Okay. So, with that then, let's... I need to reset my camera position now. I've just done that. There we are. Okay, so pitch trim confirmed as down 0.4. Rudder trim is 0.0. We're now clear to disconnect, so goodbye to the tug driver. And the after start checklist. Anti-ice is off, ecom status checked, all green. And pitch trim is down 0.4, rudder trim is 0. So, let's just check our flight controls. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, full left, neutral. And you can tell I'm back on the custom fly-by-wire by the speed that those control surfaces move, so much better. Okay, so let's take off the parking brake, let's pop the taxi light on, and we're good to start taxiing then, guys. Let's go. Easy 34 Alpha Mike at Las Palmas, taxiing now to runway 03 via Romeo 11 and Romeo 2. I love a good sunrise here in the simulator. Plus, I know it's much more enjoyable for those watching the stream if the stream takes place during daylight hours. So, we're playing around a little bit with the time of day.
Easyjetsimpilot taxiing to runway 03 left via Romeo 11 and Romeo 10.
So whilst we're just rolling to the end of this tarmac, let's get the weather radar on. Let's apply the auto brake. Let's ding our cabin crew.
Speedbot 464 is following the two Easyjets, Romeo 11 and Romeo 2.
Check our TO config, and we will have the terrain on the departure, given the big hillside over there on our well, on our right at the moment. Okay, so somewhere there should actually be a left turn off onto the taxiway in a moment. All the way down here. Great freeway scenery, this, guys.
Skyway, triple flight 6, taxiing runway 03 left via Romeo 7, Romeo 6, Romeo 4, Romeo 3, Romeo 2 to Romeo 1 Lima.
That is some extensive taxi instructions, digital.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Oh wow, look at the red clouds. Awesome. Okay, the before takeoff checklist then. Flight controls checked. Our departure briefing, it's straight out departure. Making sure we are not above Islet at 4,000 feet. We then carry on our climb to flight level 10 and transition altitude 6,000 feet. Big hill to the left, so let's avoid that. No change in the performance. Anything goes wrong, we'll be coming back here, and our stop altitude is 10,000 feet. Flap setting config 132 blue 137 magenta, climb nav blue,
NF41 taxi
flight
Romeo
directors
11, Romeo
1
3
and
to
2
runway 3
on,
left, following British Airways.
and 4000 constraint magenta, flex temp 67. So we'll just hold short here while we do the final checks before lining up for our departure. So brake fans are off, takeoff lineup clearance, we can give that to ourselves as there's no air traffic control here online. Approach path is clear, let's get those lights on. So we want to get on the strobe lights, we want to get on the landing lights, runway turn off lights, nose lights, turn off the packs for departure, anti-ice is off, and let's get the transponder on TCAS TARA and tilt above. Before takeoff, checklist below the line, cabin is secured for takeoff. Engine mode select norm, TCAS TARA, packs off, anti-ice off. Easy34 Alpha Mike at Las Palmas, lining up runway 03 left for departure to the north via the Coral 8 Alpha departure. Let's go, people. We've got a long flight ahead of us. Well, we've got 2 hours. Is the VATSIM exam hard? Not really. A lot of it's basic common sense. Obviously, I think they're just checking that you've read all the VATSIM rules more than a lot of the aviation rules. I didn't have to do it. It's only quite a recent thing that they've brought in. Great looking ground textures at this freeware airport. I like that. Okay, so all looking good for our departure. Great to see our friends lining up behind us. Okay, so let's roll, shall we? And take off, start the chrono. 50% N1. And now setting flex temp takeoff. Man flex, SRS and runway. $80 knots. Pulling the side stick back to neutral. 100 knots. Nice to see the aircraft isn't jumping up into the air like it did last night. V1 and rotate.
Positive rate for climb, gear up.
Ground Canaria traffic is Easyjet4 lining up on runway 03 left.
So there's the terrain radar kicking in. Lowering the nose to 10 degrees and setting climb thrust. I'd love to put the autopilot on at this point just to see if it holds those constraints. However, just look at the flight director, the lower bar. If I did, it would nosedive me, so I'm not turning that on at the moment. Let's get those packs back on. Speed trend looks good. We'll just have a quick view outside. How nice does that look, guys? Got to love this simulator. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so flaps 0. Ground spoilers now disarmed. And I'm now going to put autopilot 1 on. See if it holds the altitude constraint.
Easyjet
Our constraint
runway 03 left.
looks like it's going to hold.
To the north.
So once passing inlet, the aircraft should automatically now climb to 10,000 feet.
And Seabird 464 lining up 03 up and departing EasyJet.
Christian, did the flight directors change if to turn on the autopilot? Well, there's a bug, that shouldn't happen. So this is looking good. I'll be curious to see in about 5 miles or so if we start to climb. Dark Fury, is the window he's supposed to be on auto when doing the prep? So basically you only pop that on the ground if it's really, really cold. It's automatically on during flight anyway for the for that and the pitos. We just have to turn it on in the simulator because the icing effect is over the top, as we're all well aware. Okay, so once we begin this climb, we'll climb to flight level 10. Christian, you are right. They basically want you to fly almost level. So there we go. We've now just passed, or we're now passing inlet. That is starting that climb up to 10,000 feet. It's 10,000 blue. Let's make sure it does that. I'm just watching how the aircraft handles. So we're 112 miles away from Lanzarote, and that's our next stop. There we go. That climb is now working. Set standard pressure. That's not bad at all, is it?
Seabird 464 is rolling 03, departing to north.
Vincent, you downloaded the latest dev version, and as soon as you turn on the batteries, the game crashes. Oh no. Angel, welcome to Spain, amigo. I'm not there yet. We will be soon. And Alessandro is flying the fly-by-wire from Istanbul to Rome. Oh, that sounds like a lovely flight. The sun is just coming up there. I don't know if you can see that. Just over the top of the glare shield. So let's release the cabin crew. Look at that, the way that reflects.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now use your electronic devices. Rechargeable
Seabird 464 is airborne.
your smartphones and tablets at an additional super chats or super sticker cost. Please ask
Paul,
your
your VATSIM
for
account got
more information.
suspended. Is there a chance to get unbanned? I really don't know, I'm afraid. I'm not up on getting banned from VATSIM. Okay, so we're going to continue our climb now, guys. Let's just set a higher flight level 30, just to continue that climb. 30 blue. Sorry, correction, 300 blue. I'm passing 10,000 feet. Let's get those lights off.
Rolling 941, rolling 3 left, departing north.
Speedbird Skyway 5556, lining up behind.
Skyway's calling a speedbird there. Easy done. El Diablito, no, my tongue's not working. El Diablito, great to see you. You're on board, down with a whiskey. What a perfect time to be alive. Hope you got us on the big TV, my friend. Feet up, enjoy the flight, enjoy the ride. I think it's going to be a nice smooth ride as well.
Rolling 941, airborne.
Now I do believe, I need to double check this, but I'm sure there was air traffic control on in Spain, but to be fair, we're probably a good hour and a half away from reaching them, so they may not be there when we get there. Lewis, my friend, download the experimental version. download the experimental version. I promise you it works. That's what this is. This is the experimental version. Do you know what I didn't do, guys? I didn't turn on the fly pad. So, need to just put the company name in there. And we'll get that on. We can now import that from SimBrief. There we go. We've just got some weather now, haven't we? Look at the wind at both where we've just departed and at Malaga. There's no wind. There's no wind. There's no direction. So of course at the moment the top of descent calculator is not yet available for those of you that have seen that video. They were looking at, I don't know if you guys can read that or whether the text is too small, but they were looking at adding a scroll bar to this, just so people could scroll up and down it rather than have to mess around with the mouse. That would be quite nice if they can get that functional. So passing flight level 180. And the sun is up. Happy now to release the passengers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are free to move about the cabin. However, please note that we do recommend you fasten your seatbelts at all times when you are seated in case of turbulence. Thank you.
Lewis, will all your liveries get deleted? If you do what? If you download the experimental version? No, they're completely separate. You have to remember that the fly-by-wire mod basically just affects the A320, not the outside of it, of course. It basically just updates all the configuration files for the A320. It has nothing to do with any of your liveries, so all your liveries will work. So if you zip outside, you can see my beautiful livery shining brightly in the morning sun is working perfectly. And flight fan, you're currently over Kuala Lumpur heading to Jakarta from London. Wow, there's a flight. You're in the salty Sim 747 and it's going well. I've heard good things about that. Obviously not on the same level as the fly-by-wire guys just yet, but again, any free mod's a good mod, right? Usually. So, no wind on the ground reported at any of our airports. Lovely. So just turn the brightness displays up a little bit. There we go. So passing flight level 320, and let them use their portable devices. Lewis, that's exactly right. Just delete the A320 folder in your community folder and pop a new one in there. Will not affect anything, my friend. Paul, good morning. In fact, you know what? We're, I don't know what time it is where you are, Paul. We've got our time in the simulator here set to 7:40 Zulu time. Just because I thought we'd do a nice sunrise takeoff and flight. This is probably not too dissimilar from what it looks like for you down in Australia. A few clouds dotted about there. It's quite nice. 7:40 a.m. where you are, and it's 7:40 a.m. in the simulator. We're on Australian time. So our Optimus 390, we've set cruise flight level today 360, so happy with that. I love the way that I've now got the sun in my eyes when I do that, and you get that little bit of a glare. It's very nice. So Lanzarote is straight in front of us. That's the Lima Zulu Romeo VOR that you can see coming up there on the navigation display. Cloud Chaser, good evening. Sean, the answer's still no. One of the things the fly-by-wire guys need to get put back in is the registration decal, and the V-speed decals also disappeared. But never mind, I'm sure that that'll come back in. That should be a straightforward fix at some point. Passing flight level 270. Dark Fury, why don't I make my own decal? I did have a look at that. And I thought, oh, that could be quite handy, but then I realised I actually didn't have the software on the PC needed to do it. So I thought, you know what, I'll have a look at that a little bit later. Chibu, there may be, but the V-speed decal should not change. You don't want that to be wrong. Lewis, I've no idea, my friend. It's been a while since I flew over London in the A320, and I don't think I've done, apart from that stream where we did it the other night after the UK update. I haven't done it, so I couldn't tell you. Easyjetsimpilot, what's up? Don't know if you'll see this, but I'm getting into flight sim streaming. What do I recommend? Honestly, I wouldn't know. This channel has taken off far greater than I could have possibly imagined. So, a lot of luck, I think. And I'm grateful to each and every one of you. My engine sounds are different. Have you definitely downloaded the experimental version, Lewis, and not the dev or the stable build? Paul, yeah, I think it should. No problem there. This is the dev version that I'm flying now. AP Mako Manchester V1 release. Version 1. I thought version 1 had been out a while. I know they keep updating it with different patches and things, basically making more additions to it. The wrapper, so you've swapped from the dev to the experimental after what I mentioned the other day, and your landings have been much better. Yeah, it's really nice to land on. Really, really nice. Scanning 941, what do I squawk when ATC is online? I just leave it. So at the moment squawking 7,000. I think in Europe, or certainly in the UK, is it 1200? I think that might be a VFR squawk actually, but it doesn't matter. There's no ATC to shout at us. Has somebody got an open mic, or was that meant to be a communication? Yakovic, what's the difference between the experimental and the dev? Okay, so the experimental version is essentially the developer version, but it has a custom controls built by fly-by-wire. Fly-by-wire basically tweaked all of the sensitivities of the control surfaces to make it much more realistic. So they actually call it the custom fly-by-wire control version. It's just much more realistic in the way it responds to your inputs and the handling. Talia is 1200 the VFR in Canada and North America as well. Ah, fair enough. Can't say as I've ever flown VFR over there, to be fair. Bravo 632, have they fixed the frame rates when arriving at new airports since the UK update? Manchester arrival is awful. Well, they've not actually touched Manchester, so I'm not sure why that would have caused a frame rate issue. That's afraid I can't help you with that. How are we doing with this cruise? We should be at our cruise flight level now. Oh, we're not far off. I just love listening to that low hum. Don't you think that sounds great? Could easily just sit and pretend you're on an aircraft. Turn the lights out in the living room, get us on the big screen TV, pour yourself a beer and enjoy. I definitely recommend the experimental version over the dev. Yes I do. So the sun's up. Must be time for breakfast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to serve breakfast. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. If you would like to upgrade your meal to the premium package, please pay the cabin crew using stickers or super chats to help support the channel. Thank you.
J-Hog, yeah, this is the custom fly-by-wire, so the experimental one. Which version is more stable, development or experimental? They are exactly the same. They have all the same features. Usually the experimental is about 24 hours behind the dev version, just as they load things in. But other than that, they are exactly the same. It's just the handling of the aircraft is a little bit different. Okay, so we're now about to reach our cruise altitude. So let's see how we're getting on with a few things. So, engines are all good. Oh, for a moment there, I thought they'd fixed the SD page cycle. They've not. So, engine is fine. Bleed air looks normal. Pressure's fine, with the exception of the auto elevation landing. The electrics, let's have a look. So APU generator is on, battery 1 is off. There's not even any sort of there's nothing you can look at on the electrics page there's no uniform to it. Everything is completely different every time we fly. Hydraulics not working yet. Fuel looks good. APU is off. Cabin temperatures 23 degrees, that's fair enough, and the doors are fine. And our wheels 20 degrees. Flight controls all looking normal, all computers are on and operational. And that's nice. Yakovic, I would certainly go to the experimental. I think you'll find it far better. What I would recommend, however, and this is very important, he says, quickly looking through his YouTube channel, try and find a video. If you are moving to the experimental version for the first time, watch this video, because there are a couple of things you need to change now. Where is it? Here it is. Let me just grab you a link. So there you go. Have a look at that, and that will tell you a little bit more about the experimental version and what to expect when flying it. Hello, Bob, you've just joined. Great to see you again. Have they fixed the ILS issue in the Mach 2? Do you mean the auto-populating issue? Guess we'll find out when we get to Malaga. But I flew last night and didn't have a problem with it, so we shall see. Paul, you can't wait for the top of the descent calculator to come out. Yeah, that is great. Eham, how's Amsterdam this evening? The communication frequency, there are 2 more options there to prepare several comm frequencies, but they don't appear to work. If you're talking about VH1, VH2, you can only broadcast on one at a time. So VH2 is basically, it's a backup, standby. Actually, speaking of that, we should have VH2 on 121.5, which is the guard frequency. Maybe they can somehow put that in by default. There we go. So the runway 23 ILS at Hamburg doesn't work. Oh, fair enough. Liverpool to Madrid, Lewis. That's a nice 2-hour flight. Enjoy, have fun. Is auto landing now, as it has been a while since the video? No, not yet, Flight Fan. There is still lots of things to program with that video. As it uses, the auto land is just one feature of that particular version of the mod. That particular version has its entire own autopilot, completely separate from Azobo and from Microsoft Flight Simulator. So there's lots for it to lots to do on that yet. Still buggy, even when I flew it while doing the video. There's several bugs still to be ironed out with that. Okay, so we are, let's just do a flight progress and operational flight plan check. So we are direct Coral, and we should be there in about 4 minutes. We've been traveling for 24 minutes. We should be at Coral by 29 minutes, so technically that's about a minute behind, but that's fine. And we have about, we've got about 0.8 tons of fuel over our minimum fuel required, so that's all good. That is all fine. So what I need to do now is go and have a quick look at some weathers for airports that we are coming close to. The 6 wicked wedge says, whenever I do a takeoff and have the speed set to 210 knots, it still shoots up to 260 knots and then drops back down. Right, okay. You shouldn't need to set, when you say you set it to 210 knots, do you mean you physically set it here on the speed book? Don't do that. Always take off in managed speed. You will never need to set any speed on there for takeoff, and if you do, you actually set it in your performance page, which I can't show you because we've just departed. I can't go back to that, I'm afraid. But yeah, you don't need to do that. Right, so where are we? Okay, so en route weathers then. Let's have a look. McDo menu, Atsu, AOC. Weather requests. So obviously we've got the weather for Malaga, see what's happening there. Let's have a look at Agadir Airport, which is Golf Mike Alpha Delta, and we'll also have a look at Marrakesh, Golf Mike Mike X-ray. Golf Mike Mike X-ray. Although from what I'm seeing out the window, the weathers are looking pretty good. Six wicked wedge says 250 knots is the normal speed below 10,000 feet, so you don't need to do that. Just leave it in manage mode, my friend. Nothing wrong with that. Does going to the performance page alter the aircraft's behaviour? Absolutely it does, particularly prior to departure. It's there. You need to calculate all your V-speeds for takeoff. You calculate or input rather the thrust reduction and the acceleration altitude of the aircraft after departure. If there are any speed restrictions for the departure, is where you enter them. For anybody that wants to learn more, here we go, let me try and find you some more videos. Okay, so at the moment I'm in the middle of doing a really rather in-depth series of tutorials. Let me see if I can just grab you a link. Okay, so if you want to know all about setting your aircraft up for departure, this tutorial playlist is the one to watch. It takes you through everything from stepping inside the cockpit for the first time to setting everything up. So far I think I've got it to the taxi point. The next tutorial in that video series will be the actual departure and climb to cruise, so do please check that. The wrapper, the EFB, only gives me the METAR for the airport that I'm landing at. It doesn't give me the en route weathers, or not yet anyway. And if I lose an engine and I need to divert, I'd like to know where to go quickly. So let's have a look if those weathers have come through. Messages received, METAR. Okay, so we've hardly got any wind there at Malaga. Not to worry about that. We're still a good hour and a half away before I need to worry about that. So Agadir and Marrakesh, winds negligible. Ceiling and visibility is okay. Yeah, wide open airports. Nothing to worry about. We can just sit back and enjoy the beautiful views that we've got. I think you can just about see the continent of Africa right on the horizon. Lewis, the freeway Gran Canaria Airport is available on flightsim.to. The 6 Wicked Witch says, you lost an engine and had to go direct to the airport, then it let you insert the approach for it. Is there another way to do it? Not really, but bear in mind it depends how far away you were from your destination when you lost an engine. If I lost an engine now, I wouldn't want to travel all the way to Malaga, or if something else happened, remember, a passenger is taken ill or there's an emergency, then we wouldn't want to go direct all the way to Malaga. We'd peel off and either decide to return back to Gran Canaria, or we'd look at going to Agadir or Marrakesh, because they're the two closest major airports. Talia, you just put in the climb for JFK to Atlanta, 143 knot headwinds. There's a jet stream. I love how now over the Atlantic there's still just little bits of clouds bobbing around. It's not just clear all the way. Katie's, good evening, thanks for joining us. So that morning sun now is lighting up the cabin. Our winds aren't going to be anything as extreme as that. Look, we've got a very slight tailwind. I think the tailwind component for this flight was a tailwind of 11. So, yeah, we've got a 37 knot tailwind. Java developer Damien, you've got an issue with the A320. The cockpit is not displaying like the window with the feet, etc. Right, I would just go to the community folder and empty that. Do you have any other mods in there? They can sometimes clash with things. So I'd empty the community folder, then put a fresh installation of the A320NX back in. Tally Johnson, the jet stream over North America goes right down to Texas. It does, and I only know that because we flew through it yesterday in a test flight that we were doing. The orange lines on the VFR map, they're just different airspaces that are controlled. So I can't zoom out actually. I'm zoomed out as far as I can on the VFR map, so I can't show you anymore, but I can just scroll around, you can see. So it's where Lisbon control operates in the different sectors. There's Malaga up there, where we shall be heading to. Are fly-by-wire working on the whole Airbus family? No, just the A320 and the A380 at the moment. Damien, if you pop a message into the Discord server, then somebody on there will help you. I guarantee that. But I would do as I've just suggested first. Empty your community folder of every add-on that you have. Just pop them on in a temporary folder somewhere, and then do a fresh installation of the A320NX. Who's doing the A318 and 19? I have absolutely no idea. Maybe Aerosoft. I think Aerosoft said they wanted to do the A320, didn't they? To which I thought, why? Fly-by-wire are doing a fantastic version of that, and they're working throughout on it 24 hours a day. Literally 24 hours a day. Boy, you're looking forward to the A350 more than the A380. Yeah, there's something about the A350. It's just the technology that's on board that aircraft. So I'm just looking ahead now for charts, the charts with our arrival into Malaga. And it is the Veja 2 Kilo arrival that we will be doing today. So let me see if the coding of that actually matches. I say we're doing that arrival, that's what we have planned in. However, if air traffic control are online, they may decide that they want us to do something else. So let's have a look at how this looks coding wise. So from Victor Juliet Golf, as you can just see there, should go direct to Martin. There it is. It's then got some very strange loop thing going on there. That's not normal. What is happening there? Right, okay, I see why it's doing that. So you know by now then, guys, that when you put a star into the flight plan, it always asks you to go via something, and even if you select no vias, it will still put one in for you. There's nothing you can do about that, sadly. So this is sending us via Amigo, which is at the top of the navigation display just there. So it's basically taking us from Martin back up to Amigo. Really, we should just put no veers in, so we could have gone direct to Martin, and then from Martin, if we just come down, it should come down to Nepal, which is correct, that is there. Then from Nepal we basically fly and intercept the ILS. So what we shall do from the Martin VOR is we will probably go direct and intercept that ourselves. However, we need to just put a couple of things into our RadNav computer for that. So let us pop in there on the RadNav computer. Let's put the Martin VOR in. Mike Alpha Romeo, which is 499 miles away. And then we'll also put the Malaga VOR in there, which is Mike Lima Golf. Mike Lima Golf. 495 miles away. Make sure if you're doing this, you always select the right one. They are shown in distance order, the closest being the one at the top. So there we go. We've got those both tuned in now, and I can turn those both on now if I wish, so I don't forget a little bit later on. So who's mentioning the estimated fuel on board? Yeah, just look, if you actually then go to the predictive fuel page, fuel prediction page, that will then all update. So there you go, that's looking a lot better. Estimated fuel on board when we get there, 2.3 tons. So there's plenty. So many of the stars do work fine, but some of them, if you have to follow that veer that you don't want to, sadly, they don't always work. Scandi 941, are you sending it to Easy34 Alpha Mike? That should come through if it does. We might even print it. If you send me a message, I might even print it out for you. Can you use the Microsoft ATC with the mod? Yes, of course you can. Yes, you can. We tested this when the SimBrief link first came out. Basically, just don't load any flight plan, just spawn in at an airport, set the download your flight plan into the McDo as you would do normally, then contact ATC, and there's usually an option to request departure and file your flight plan there. So that should work. Games VRTech, the plan isn't sequenced yet. It is sequenced, it's just not sequenced correctly. The fuel, which has nothing to do with the fuel bug. The fuel bug is just a fuel bug that happens, but it updates if you go to the fuel prediction page. Then it works fine. You wish Microsoft would make another space simulator. I remember seeing that years ago. I don't think I ever played it though. Digital, I promise I haven't. Or at least I don't think I have. Let me have a look. Options, I don't even know where that is actually. Oh, my thrust reduction altitude set to 1500. Let me change that. That should be 1000. Maybe that's the reason why that's never accurate. Okay, we'll leave that as is for now. Free text disable. Confirm disable. No, so it's working absolutely fine at the moment. It is enabled. So if anyone's flying the A320NX right now and you are really bored, you can send me a message. Is air traffic control online now? Digital? Of course they are. Let's have a look, shall we? That's not it. That's someone completely different. It's Casablanca radar that is online, so we'll get keyed into them, which is 12655. He's going to have fun separating us all, isn't he? 126.55. There we go. Yeah, Dark Fury. Always happens, doesn't it? They just wait for us all to get there. Right, so they're online. They've not pinged me yet. I've not actually heard any communication on the channel. 12655, 126, just check that's right. Okay, well, we'll give them a call. Centre, Easy 34 Alpha Mike, flight level 360.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Casablanca, good evening. Casablanca, stand by, number 3.
Number 3. Clearly he's got a lot of people to deal with when he's just come online. Asterix, did I buy the AirX cycle?
Ryanair 4464.
No, I didn't.
5411, 5411.
And I'm flying the experimental custom fly-by-wire build.
Center, good evening. Skyway.
Always take off with flaps 1 as a minimum, Yakovic. Flaps 1 as a minimum. Never take off flap 0.
Skywise, 756, good evening, number 4, stand by. Ryanair 4464, identified 390, inbound Tobra, proceed turtle.
Proceed direct turtle, Ryanair 4464.
Direct turtle? Is that a waypoint?
Casablanca radar, good evening sir, quality 2446, outbound Sulan, flight 320. Good evening, 2446, identified 320, proceed asphalt, Baruch. Yep, proceed Baruch, quality 2446.
Asterix Law, the Citizen Stars very rarely change, my friend. And if they do, they're usually very, very minor.
Good evening, Casablanca Centre, speedbird 464 with you, flight level 360.
Should you use the custom fly-by-wire, I would certainly recommend it. I bet your landings will become much smoother.
Hello, Speedbirds, decision for you. Call you back shortly, monsieur.
Yakovic 6, great stuff, let us know how it goes, you'll enjoy it, I promise you will. Much more stable when flying manually.
Casablanca, bonjour, Vueling 9041 with you at flight 370, direct to Niral. Vueling 941, buenas tardes, señor. Bonjour, bienvenue aboard. Casablanca, standby, call you back.
So guys, do me a favour while we're in the cruise, if you can, just do me a lovely favour and hit that like button for the stream if you could. I would be very, very grateful if you can. Jazz Maxwell, do I like the auto landing system? Yeah, I mean, you only obviously use it when you need to, but that's going to be great. It means we can now land in poor visibility. Christian, the controller's probably pulling his hair out thinking, how the heck am I going to separate all these guys going into Madrid? And I think Madrid controls online as well, so they'll be telling him to separate them before handing them over. So that's now his responsibility to get that done. Yeah, so Madrid's still online, I think. And as I say, Casablanca is obviously online. We may even get put into the hold at Madrid.
Good night, Easy 24 at flight level 360. AZ854, stand by, call you back. One by one, got a problem here with my scope. Just checking to finish. We come back soon.
It's not a problem with your scope, mate. There are 9 aircraft flying between Gran Canaria and Madrid. Mad Pilot, oh, well done, mate. How do I look and know what the minimum altitude is? They're on the charts, my friend, so unless you have the charts, if you don't have charts, just put the MDA in as 200. So it's usually, for an ILS approach, it's usually about 200 feet.
America 91, correction, America 971, Hotel Casablanca. Ready to copy, CD. Sorry for delay. Clear destination Lisbon via Macam 1 Delta departure 35 right. Initially 5000, correction level 50, squawk 6455.
I'm looking at VATSIM at the minute and thinking this controller needs to do some separating.
455, initial climb 5,000 feet. Speed up 25 right, off the Macam 1 Delta for Royal 9 to 1 hotel.
Well, American 971 hotel, reback is correct on discretion. Startup approved, unit 1019.
Roger, we'd already pushed before we realised you were online. We're ready for taxi.
Roger, go for taxi.
We're ready for taxi.
Greg, how long have you been flying on VATSIM?
Papa Tango,
Years.
Sierra, hold short 35 right. Papa Tango, Sierra, hold short 35 right. Time check 16.
Papa Tango, also 35 right, and that's a 1 hotel.
Iberia Express 857 cover. Iberia Express 38.
So I'm just listening for him to call our call sign out. He's going to call at any minute. Having said that, I think I'm at the front of this group, so I might not be the one that has to do any holdings or deviatings.
Is it 809 Casablanca?
No, it does look like a little bit of a messy window, doesn't it?
9 Casablanca. Is it 34 Alpha Mike? So good evening. Casablanca?
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, pass your message.
I say 34 Alpha Mike, Casablanca. Very good evening to you, sir. Welcome aboard. Squawk 1411. 1411.
Squawking now 1411, Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Clearly he's got his scope working.
854 Casablanca.
Easyjetsimpilot, go ahead.
Welcome aboard. Casablanca, Dobry Вечер, Squawk 1412.
Let's stay in the cockpit for a moment. He may give us a direct routing.
Squawk 1412. 1412, Dobry Вечер.
Dobry wieczór, Squawk 1412, Easyjetsimpilot.
Charlie, yes I have, but obviously not on this simulator. I was in FSX.
34 Alpha Mike identified and read the control C60. How? Identified 29 nautical miles north of Isawira. As far proceed to a direct for you, that would be Adobe. Shortcut available. If you wish, proceed Adobe Alpha Delta Uniform Bravo India.
Roger, we'll proceed direct Adobe now for you, Easy 34 Alpha Mike, thank you. Okay, thought he'd give us a direct, so let's do that.
6,000 west of Isawira. Proceed Adobe Alpha Delta Uniform Bravo India.
Directly to Adobe, Easyjetsimpilot.
So that will help with a little bit of spacing, won't it?
14 Casablanca.
Oh yeah, FS Labs and the Tollis. I've not had the pleasure of flying the Tollis, but
Sorry for delay, sir. Welcome aboard, Casablanca.
yeah,
Squawk 141.
that's the sort of realism I think the fly-by-wire guys are wanting to get into this.
No problem at all. Squawking 1413, speedbird 464.
Greg, how did I learn the comms?
Calling 941.
From an age of about 10 years old, I used to listen to airband radio, so I kind of knew all the comms prior to actually starting. I already knew what everything meant, what to say, etc., and that's just come from years of listening.
Control Easy 809, I wish you flight level 360 and routing.
Christian, you haven't understood a word he said. I must admit, I am glad he gave me the phonetic spelling of Adobe.
809. 809. Welcome aboard.
And the rapper, you just kind of get used to it.
Tea or coffee?
You just kind of get used to what they're saying. You can also pretty much anticipate what they're going to do, which does help.
809, Squawk 1415.
So I knew obviously that there's a lot of us all together. He's probably going to want to separate us and get people out of the way, so by sending us direct, he's getting us out of the way of those behind me.
Identified 29 nautical miles to Isawira. Shortcut available. Adobe. If you wish, proceed Alpha Delta Uniform Bravo India.
We will go direct to Adobe, speedbird 464, thank you.
Oh, Nick's getting a direct as well. Yeah, so Charlie Cop, I
I
certainly wasn't 12 years old when I started. I was 10 years old when I started listening to air traffic control communications on an actual VFR radio scanner. So, picked that up for years, and also used to run a lot of air traffic control simulations as well back then. So, I knew the comms before starting with VATSIM, which obviously came many years later. VATSIM wasn't around when I was 12.
509, sorry, could you say again?
Yes, sir. Welcome aboard. Proceed. Barbara, Bravo, Alpha, Romeo, Papa, Alpha, Papa, and...
Paul, they sound drunk to you. Well, what else is there to do on a Friday night when you're a VATSIM controller?
I got Alpha, Bravo. Where was it direct to, please?
Yeah, just check your pilot clients. That will be Papa, Bravo, Alpha, Romeo, Papa, Alpha.
He does sound quite happy, doesn't he?
Okay, flight level Easyjet09, thanks.
Warning 941 Nievo 370 identified. If you wish, Adobe is available and even flight level is required. Flight is
The
not.
rapid text only can be really frustrating, just because you've got to type back everything that he's saying. You're trying to control the aircraft, and I don't think I could do that. I definitely don't think I could do that.
Warning 941 Casablanca.
I'll have a pint of what he is on.
941 request flight level 3.
Whatever the local beverage is in Marrakesh, I'm guessing.
Approved, sir. Proceed. Adobe, climber maintain 380.
Time flight level 380, proceeding direct to Adobe, Vueling 941. Gracias.
The Nava Senor, American 971 Hotel, runway 35 right, clear for takeoff. Wind is calm, Casablanca.
Please right, clear takeoff, enter 1 hotel.
Sounds like the Napoleon from Bill and Ted. Hey, as long as he gets us to Malaga, I'm happy.
and Bilmin number 2. Let's say for clear destination Casablanca, inshallah.
Well, you know what? If the controller's on the bubbly, maybe the passengers should be as well.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Aviator 798, welcome aboard Casablanca, clear destination Casablanca. No weather information available at station, Gilmim. After departure, runway 05, climb level 100, call me passing level 80.
J-Hog, no, I'm not sure where HD is tonight.
Destination Casa, runway 05 inshallah, climb 100 and report passing 80, Arabi Mastok 798.
It's a good opportunity as well, guys, though, for you, anyone wanting to listen to comms and things, to have live air traffic control all the way through is quite nice. You can obviously pick things up and listen.
Airways, Chapter 5, 6, Squawk 1475.
One 1475 for Skyway 5556.
Iberia Express 3857 Casablanca.
So I think now he's gone through everybody and calmed them down, tell everyone where they need to be going. We've got that little direct routing, which is quite nice.
4464 Casablanca.
Ryanair 4464.
Jimmy, what's broken in your fly-by-wire?
This is flight level 41000. Sorry, I've been busy a bit. If you're still interested, clear to climb 410.
No problem. We'll step climb flight level 410 for Ryanair 4464.
Flight level 410, he's got to be in a 737. They can go higher than us. Shimu, if you get your joystick down, it doesn't disengage the autopilot as it should. Well, not just down, but so if you force it over left or right, it should do. Look at that! I've just seen that in the sunlight. Look at all the fingerprints over the fly pad. I want a virtual cloth to clean it.
Skyway 5556.
And Silver
I want to be able to
44,
clean that.
say Mac number, please.
We are decimal 78.
Is it 854? Say Mac number, please.
Great to see how the texture's got on there. They've actually put fingerprints all over it.
EasyJet going at currently Mach 0.78, please.
Do you know what, guys? I'm just going to have to grab my phone. I'm grabbing my phone and sending a picture of that to HD. That's going to wind him right up.
Thank you. That would be perfect.
Casablanca, Royal Emirates, National Hotel, passing 4,000 bases.
He's going to hate that.
American 971 Hilton and ready to control, ready contact bus established time zero, climb 160.
Climb 160, National Hotel.
Very realistic though, isn't it? I'm just sending this, sending a message to HD saying, look at the state of this. Look at the fingerprints on the fly pad. So yeah, we need a virtual wet wipe to wipe those clear. HD will be outraged, yeah. How very messy. Hey, Dark Fury, I don't pay the cleaning crew. I'm not rich enough for that. Scandi 941, you can't hear me because the controller's that loud. He is quite loud, isn't he? That wouldn't be allowed now, those fingerprints. I mean, COVID. Just think. Everything needs to be sanitised and hand wiped down. In fact, at the moment, I think, you know, even the tray tables, you can't see them here, but basically this is a tray table that you can pull out. At the end of a flight, at the end of a shift, the tray tables have to be pulled out, so the cleaners can go in and wipe everything down without touching the tray tables. They're not permitted, I don't think, to touch the tray tables. The cockpit is filthy, Leonard. Yeah, quite right. It's not a COVID secure cockpit, this is it.
Casablanca Control, Sliver 464. We'd like permission for leave the cockpit for 5 minutes, just to grab some coffee.
The 464, no need to leave your cockpit. I will deliver the coffee for you. Just sit, Captain. Approved to report action.
We will report back. Sliver 464.
Oh wow, this controls nice.
971 Hotel, confirm final level requested 32000.
Right, so the tropo is basically the tropopause. The tropopause. Quick Google for that, it'll be easy to explain with some diagrams and things. But it's basically a layer in the atmosphere where most of the weather stops. It affects things like jet streams and things.
971 Hotel approved, climber 19360, and after Leckham, proceed Amstel.
Lewis, I told you it would be.
Direct Amstel.
Told you the experimental was great.
Roger, after Lacam direct Amstel, and just confirm final flight level first was 320 as requested.
Please to climb final level 320.
Well, this control probably doesn't realise it, but he's actually providing the entertainment for tonight's flight. So let's just go ahead and get a few more en route weathers. However, looking out the window, everything's looking rather beautiful. So let's just have a look at our weather request. Let's get Casablanca. It sounds like we all should go there if that's what the controller's where the controller's been and what he's drinking. We should all call in at Casablanca, shouldn't we? And we'll also have a look and grab the information at Faro. We're a little bit far away from Faro, to be fair, but if anything happened, let's shut the borders into Spain. We needed to divert. Lima Papa Foxtrot Romeo. Lima Papa Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, so I'm actually planning an arrival on runway 12. We're going to go through our arrival briefing in a moment. So with no winds, we're looking at runway 12. Let's just turn on the constraints are on there already. So runway 12, we're on the Victor Juliet Fox 2 Kilo arrival. Victor Juliet Fox 2 Kilo, and are VATSIM online for Malaga still? Let's have a quick look, see if they are. Right. So what we can do is actually see if there's any ATIS information.
You will be leaving my airspace. The further ATC service ahead, Unicom 22.8. I would like to catch you here with me, but here you are living. Have a nice bye, nice weekend.
Thank you, bro. Over to Unicom, right now 446 bye-bye.
Logan, empty the community folder, start the flight sim, and see if it crashes.
Casablanca Centre, Speedbird 464 is back, and thank you for the coffee.
Well done, Nick. Okay, so there's no actual ATIS at
welcome back.
Madrid.
I thought you were bringing a beer.
This guy's great. Okay, so
No drinking and flying.
we can
Oh yeah, I can just give you some pictures to the mountains or somewhere else. Thank you.
seriously, what's the controller being on? Great lad. So yeah, we can vector ourselves for ILS runway 12. It's going to be the Victor Juliet Fox 2 Kilo arrival, and we want to be flight level 70 by Martin. So I'm just going through this approach now, and then I'll tell you and we'll talk you through what we expect to happen. So we're currently at flight level 360, is that right? Yeah, we're at flight level 360. We want to be at flight level 70. Is that a flight level or an altitude? We'll find out in a moment. So we want to actually start our descent. We've got a slight tailwind, so we'll start our descent probably about 102 miles away from the Martin VOR. Now if you remember, we've already put that in our RadNav page, so that should populate in a moment. The Martin VOR is this one here, 112.6.
Arabic Morocco 798, passing 80410 inbound Ablock.
He's not a controller, he's a comedian.
Welcome aboard, Casablanca, Squawk 4577.
Squawk 4577, Arabic Morocco 798.
Then once we get to Martin, it's descending down to 4,800 feet. And then further down, when we are 15.8 miles out,
if you wish, proceed direct fullback, climb final
3,200 feet.
360, ready contact.
I will go through this approach with you guys in a while.
360 and proceed direct fullback, Arabic Morocco 7.
And the platform altitude is 2,500 feet. So I'm basically just looking at the charts and working out how I'm going to do this approach, and then I will talk you through how we're going to do that. A little bit of terrain as well to the north of the field, which we'll be flying over, so need to avoid that, obviously. Otherwise that'd be a sad end to the stream. Thankfully, the weather is very, very good, so there shouldn't be any problem there. We'll be able to look outside the window in visual meteorological conditions. So the transition altitude is 6,000 feet. And then if we need to go missed with the go around, let's just have a look at the missed approach procedure. Climb on runway heading to 2.4 miles from Malaga, left turn, and join holding at 2,200. Do not climb above 2,200. On VATSIM, do you have to have a real airline call sign? It makes things easier. You can put in your notes what you want your call sign to be when filing a flight plan, but just keep things simple on it. Makes it better for everybody concerned. So wind still looking pretty much non-existent at Malaga. What a perfect time to land there then, eh? Let's have a look at the weather here in the simulator. Message received. Yeah, so there's no wind. 12 degrees. Do you know what? We'll print that off because we'll use that to populate the approach page in a minute. Here that comes. Lewis, I guarantee your plane won't nosedive. You've got the custom fly-by-wire build. It will definitely not nosedive. So we're going to start our top of descent down to flight level 70 when we're 102 miles away from the Martin VOR. Now the Martin VOR is 112.6. We've got that keyed in here, so basically we'll get a distance there as well. So that makes working out when to do our top of descent nice and easy. So we want to be at 7,000 feet when we get there. Constraints along the route, we obviously don't want to be any lower than 10,000 feet, or flight level 100, when we pass the Victor Juliet Fox VOR. Again, that's just something that's on the charts. I wonder if that's actually coded into the flight plan. We can probably put that in. There's the Victor Juliet Fox. Can we pop that in? So there's an altitude constraint there in real life of we need to be above 10,000, flight level 100. So that's now in. Does that appear? I might have to just... There it is. So that's worked. Why is my aircraft turning to the left? It really shouldn't be doing. There's a bit of a wind coming over from the left, but I didn't think it was enough to cause that much of a heading track difference, but apparently so. It is taking us direct to Osdom, which is right, so we'll just leave that to do as it is. So that's fine. So let us just talk through this flight plan then and this approach. So I come down here. Greg Crisp, how often do I stream? I stream as often as I can. I enjoy it, and having you guys here to watch also makes it fun. Right, so there is something not quite right in the way that that's looking. We should also be going direct to a booty at the moment, so let me just see if we can change this and go direct to a booty. There's that aircraft pulling us right again. Yeah, the aircraft did something strange there. For some reason it stopped going direct to booty like the air traffic controller told us to a moment ago, so he sounds that liquored up, he won't have even noticed we went off track for 2 or 3 minutes. Jet propelled llamas, how do I manage to stream with triplets? Well, they got to sleep sometime, right? Okay, now we're back on course. Alright, so let's talk about this approach now. So, flight plan. At Victor Juliet Fox, as you can see just here, I thought I'd put constraint in there. Why has that disappeared? Let me pop that back in. We want to be flight level 100 or above. That's populated, thank you. Strangely enough, has it disappeared? Oh no, it's still there. Okay, so there we go. We want to be at... Where is the aircraft going? Oh, the aircraft's in what's it doing mode. Well, according to this, it is still taking us direct to a booty, so we're just going to leave that rolling for now and see what happens. Strangely enough, yeah, we are going direct. We are direct to booty. It says so there, top right hand corner of the navigation display. We'll just see if the wind component continues to push us direct towards a booty. But basically that's what we need to do. Okay, I need to get through this approach briefing. So, Pete, I'm not selecting lock. Why would I select lock? I'm nowhere near the lock. So let's have a look through this approach briefing. What we're going to do is... I'm going to do this quickly before the aircraft decides to do anything else. So I can basically show you through it on here instead. So have a look at the VFR map for me. We're going direct to booty, allegedly at the moment. We're going to start our descent 102 miles away from the Martin VOR down to flight level 070. So we want to be flight level 070 by the time we reach the Martin VOR just here. When we reach the Martin VOR, we then want to continue our descent down to an altitude of 4,800 feet when we are 15.8 miles away from the Martin VOR, which is roughly around here, but we'll watch that on the VOR because the Martin VOR is coded in. Then we want to descend down to 3,200 feet. We can then continue descent to the platform altitude, or at this point we'll probably pick up the glide slope as well, and that's our coding into landing on runway 12. So hopefully all that is clear. That's what we expect to happen.
Lufthansa 546 Yankee, flight level 330 inbound VDOT.
So I'm just going to see if I can update that again.
Lufthansa 546 Yankee, welcome aboard.
That's turning us back on course now. And that constraint at Victor Juliet Fox has actually remained in place this time, so we can happily leave that there.
Direct air to Lufthansa 546 Yankee.
So let's have a look then at putting our weather into the performance page. We need our trusty piece of paper for that. So let's go to the performance page then, guys. Next phase, next phase. So the approach QNH is 1019. The temperature is 12 degrees. Wind 000 at 0. Transition altitude 6,000 feet. And the minimum descent altitude for this approach is 300. No, it isn't. It's 320. 320. MDA 320. Okay. My pen had run out of ink. There we go. So that's sorted. Everything's in there. So our weather and landing information is programmed in. Now we have to remember, of course, that we actually have air traffic control online covering Malaga this evening. Are they still online? I believe so. They are indeed still online. So all that beautiful coding and preparation that we've just done, he could come and change at the drop of a hat. What I might do is send them a private message. Harvest Moon, I know the transition altitude because it's on the charts. That's the only reason. So I am going to just send Madrid Control a private message. See if we can expect the Victor Juliet Fox to Martin and then a straight-in approach. So it's the Victor Juliet Fox 2 Kilo approach. Via the Martin VOR and then direct. So I'd much rather message the controller now and ask for that rather than we get handed over to him and be told to do something completely different. So I've just messaged the controller ahead of the time when we get there, say that we're currently inbound to Madrid. Oh, not Madrid. We're not inbound Madrid at all. We're inbound to Malaga. And we're requesting the Victor Juliet Golf 2 Kilo approach via the Martin VOR and then ILS runway 12 Zulu approach. So we're giving him plenty of time to come back. Hopefully he'll say, yep, that's fine. If not, he will hopefully come back and tell us what he wants us to do instead. Yeah, Daniel, it's not Malaga that's controlling it. It's actually the Madrid centre. He's controlling all of Spain at the moment.
America 971 Hotel, you are approaching Amstel. The further ATC service Angela concerning to complete with your southwest. Happy landings. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
Have a nice weekend indeed.
Thank you very much for your service. Have a good night. Bye bye.
So if anyone...
America 833.
Someone was asking earlier about the orange lines on the VFR map. The orange lines here actually show the borders. Oh, there we go. That's Madrid Control telling us no problem. So we've told him what we want to do. He's happy with us doing that. So there shouldn't be any issues there when we contact them. Yeah, so that orange line there is basically showing where we cross over the border from Casablanca into Madrid airspace. So that's where we'd look to, roughly around here, contact and be handed over from Casablanca to Madrid Control. So it's always worth, if you can, messaging a controller if they're on the line ahead of you. Particularly if they've not provided any ATIS for the airport, which there isn't any online. So we're kind of taking a stab in the dark that they were going to use runway 12, and they are doing, so that's nice. So we've now picked up the Martin VOR. We're 152 miles away from that. And as I say, we want to start our descent 102 miles away. Scan 941, so Madrid radar is basically controlling most of Spain, certainly the part of Spain we're flying into. Harvest Moon, there are some free charts available online in places. It's a case of sometimes literally doing a Google search, just typing in, for example, Lima Echo Mike Golf charts, see what comes up. So we should be on the ground in about 40 minutes. There's the coast of Africa, just out off to the right hand side of the aircraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to serve a selection of alcoholic drinks. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. This is a paid-for service, so please consider tipping the cabin crew and the channel using stickers or super chats. Thank you.
Scanning 941 on VATSIM, which I've got, it is showing that he's controlling the south of Spain up to, he's not controlling Alicante, but he's certainly controlling Malaga, as confirmed by the fact that I've just asked him and sent him a private message asking if we can go via our expected star, and he's come back to say yes, of course. If he wasn't controlling it, of course, he would have come back and said do what you want. I'm not in control. But it hasn't, so we must expect to be handed over to him. Keith B, no, that it's actually designed for that, Keith. That little the piece of paper is the exact right size. Clever, isn't it? How much thought goes into stuff like that? Which fly-by-wire version are we using today? We're back on the custom build, the custom experimental fly-by-wire, so I'm happy. I'm flying a nice one again. AD Sparks, good evening.
Well, Emirates 33 Lima Casablanca. Well, Emirates 833 Lima Casablanca.
He's such a laid-back ATC, isn't he? Good night, Lewis. Hope you have a safe landing, my friend. Whoever 883 Lima is, I think he wants to get in touch. Actually, I'm looking at VATSIM. The missing aircraft, 833 Lima, has just been handed over, I think, from Spanish control, so God knows where he is. Yakovic, is my sensitivity still -40? I couldn't give you the exact figures without stopping this in and having a look. It is still whatever they were set to in that custom fly-by-wire control video that I did.
Casablanca radar, good evening. Run at 30 Delta 370.
30 Delta November, good evening, Casablanca. The contact bay has
And there's the coast of Spain.
To Tango, Echo, Romeo, Tango, Oscar.
Direct third time. Run at 30 Delta November.
Ladies and gentlemen, flight deck
Quality 2446, Casablanca.
Quality 2446, go ahead, sir.
Quality 2446, Sanford Charlie, you are leaving my station further 86 service ahead. Unicom, 1 decimal late, we certified, sir. Happy landing.
Thank you, sir. Unicom 1 decimal late, have a nice evening. Quality 2446.
Yakovich, the speed of the aircraft has nothing to do with the sensitivity of your side stick. Okay, so we're 106 miles away. I'm going to request the start of our descent.
Alpha Mike, Casablanca.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, pass your message.
Next with Madrid control frequency 33.750. 133.750. Have a nice weekend, sir. Happy landing. Bye bye.
Over to Madrid 123.750, and thank you for the entertainment. Good night, Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Good night, senor.
So we actually want to start our top of descent soon, so let me quickly get hold of Madrid 133.75. Check that's transferred across to VPilot 123.75. Yes, it has. Madrid control, good evening, Easy 34 Alpha Mike, flight level 360, and requesting a descent now, please.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, descent flight level 150, East Victor Juliet Foxtrot 2 kilo arrival, expect ALS approach, runway 13.
Descend now, flight level 150, and is it possible for runway 12, Easy 34 Alpha Mike?
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, no problem, expect ALS approach, runway 12.
Many thanks for that. Runway 13 does not yet exist in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Gotcha.
Yes, so you may have noticed, if anyone has tried to land on that runway, it doesn't actually exist in the simulator. Bravo 632, good night my friend. Have a great next flight. Lewis, no change in the fly-by-wire model, not at all. We'll know more on landing.
Gulf Lima, we need to leave the flight deck for about 15-20 minutes or so. Gulf Lima, Roger, report back. Thank you.
So starting to slow the aircraft down now.
857, descenso nivel de corrección, descenso 8000 pies, Madrid, el QNH 1017.
QNH 1027, descenso 100 para Iberia Express 3857.
So A-Gamer 2021, it's the VATSIM network, a group of controllers, real-life air traffic controllers, and pilots flying on the VATSIM network.
Madrid to our EJ54 at flight level 360.
EJ54, hello, descent flight level 170 when ready. Is the Victor Julia Foxtrot arrival 2 kilo for the runway 13.
Correct, runway 12, same as before, runway 13 doesn't exist in Microsoft Flight Simulator, EJ54.
So there was only the first one flying in the Microsoft. No problem, so Victor Julia Foxtrot 2 kilo arrival for the runway 12, descent flight level 150.
He's about to get the same request, isn't he, from another 4 aircraft.
Approach for runway 12, descent and flight level 170, EJ54.
Okay, so the weather and landing information is all obtained. We've set the flight management guidance computer. Landing elevation is 44. Auto brake not required for this runway. Nice and long. Weather is good as well. We will have the terrain on the navigation display. Lots of terrain to not worry about, but just be aware of.
Speedbird 464 with you, flight level 360.
Speedbird 464, hello, when ready, descend flight level 170, Victor Julie Foxtrot 2 kilo arrival, expect LS approach, runway 12.
Descend when ready to flight level 170, and it was expecting ILS 12, Speedbird 464.
Welcome to Spain. How good does that look? Yeah, so the world update really did mess up the flaps. I'm going to find out in a minute if it's fixed in the custom build. I think it is.
Easy34 Alpha Mike, descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, Easy34 Alpha Mike.
112 vacating.
Super 8, all correction 123, welcome Malaga, taxi stand of choice, bye bye.
Hello, Mr.
Back to the cockpit, sorry for the delay, Mickey 79.
No problem.
Fiona Sims, thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed the flight so far.
With you at 380.
Following 941, hello, when ready, descend flight level 150. Is the Victor Juliet Foxtrot 2 kilo arrival, ILS 12.
Okay, so I'm going to check the RadNav page, make sure that our ILS is populated.
For runway 12. Swirling 941.
So it's 110.55, the ILS.
Madrid Center, Skyways 5556 with you, flight level 360.
Skybus 3556, hello, when ready, descend flight level 170. Is the Victor Juliet Foxtrot 2 kilo arrival,
It hasn't
ILS
populated yet.
12.
I am going to leave it just for a while, see if it populates when we get a little bit closer.
170 for the ILS 12 arrival.
Easy854, descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, Easy854.
So just quickly looking at the ground charts as well for the airport. So we're looking for an exit onto taxiway Echo 8 or Echo 9. Echo 10 if the landing goes really badly. Harvest Moon, I don't think that's unique to Copenhagen. There are blue lights all over lots of the airports, sadly.
Taxi complete. Thanks for service.
Bye bye.
Okay, so let's get the seatbelt signs on. And the cabin can start preparing for landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelts as soon as possible.
ETA is at the top of the stream, Oliver. Have a quick look up there for me.
Mickey 789, after my books I will need an even flight level. Do you prefer to climb 370 or descend 350?
Will be okay to descend to flight level 350, Mickey 789.
Mickey 789, Roger, after my books, descend flight level 350.
After Mabux 350, Mickey 79.
Iber Express 3857, posterior to Beck, altura salida secreto de izquierda.
Así, entonces posterior sobre, autorizado 32 izquierda para Iber Express 3857.
And just taking the QNH is 1019.
Madrid Control, good evening, Easy 809 with you, flight level 360.
Easy 809, hello, descend flight level 170. Is the PMOS to Quebec, correction 1 Quebec arrival, expect ALS approach runway 12.
Roger, descend flight level 170, expect ILS 12. Could you give me the arrival?
Carson Lou, yeah, it's on the to-do list, my friend, but it's not easy coding, I'm afraid.
Yep, Easy 809, the final waypoint is PMOS, so it's gonna be the PMOS 1 Quebec arrival for the runway 12.
PMOS 1 Quebec arrival for ILS 12. Easy 809, descending to 170.
Easy 809, I can fly to the right, direct PMOS and when ready, 170.
So I want to start slowing down and getting down a little bit lower. We're only about 36 miles away now.
Buenas tardes, 5.
Lewis, you're back for the landing.
Muy
Fair
buenas
enough.
tardes, desde Coruña con plan de vuelo instrumental enviado hacia Palma, listos para copiar.
Coronel 3407, buenas tardes, autorizado Palma, Roxer 3 Charlie, pista 21, responden 4427.
Autorizado para Palma, Roche 3 Charlie, por la pista 21.
Leonard, I think you're right. Fly-by-wire will fix everything, and the fancy update will screw it up again.
3407, colación correcta, Coruña con H1003, puesta en marcha, retroceso de discreción, notifique listo a rodar.
Cune H1003, listos para rodaje y a discreción, notificamos listos para rodar.
Easyjetsimpilot, proceed to the right, direct PMOS, please.
Easyjetsimpilot, say again, please.
Greg, you're off. Thanks for joining us.
Victor, Juliet Fox,
Grab a parachute. Off you go.
PMOS, on the PMOS 1 Quebec.
809 at Roger, this case, crew follow your flight and fly direct PMOS.
Fly direct PMOS, Roger, Easy 809.
Easy 3 for Alpha Mike, descend 6,000 feet, Malaga, QNH 1019.
It's 6,000 feet, Malaga QNH 1019, Easy 3 for Alpha Mike. That should have been altitude 6,000.
Easy 854, turn left, heading 010 degrees.
Turn left heading 010 degrees, Easy 54.
Easy 854, sorry, left heading 020.
Left heading 020, Easy 54.
Chuck, do you need fast intercept for really good scenery? No, not really. I have about anywhere between 20 and 30 megabytes per second, depending on whether the kids are streaming Peppa Pig, of course. That is.
Studio 464, turn left heading 020.
Left heading 020, Studio 464.
And a Studio 464, descend
Ah,
flight
Lewis,
level
good evening.
90.
Going well so far.
Descend to flight level 90, Studio 464.
Easy 854, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Easy 54.
Easy 3 for Alpha Mike, after Mike Alpha Romeo, clear, let's approach runway 12, number 1.
After Mike Alpha Romeo, we cleared the ILS approach number 1, Easy 3 for Alpha Mike. Okay, so he's basically just giving us free rein to
Mickey 789.
vector ourselves in there.
Now descend flight level 350.
So let's go direct Mike Alpha Romeo.
And 789, you can continue to Unicom 122.8. Bye bye.
Get that inserted. Has the RadNav page populated yet? No, it hasn't. So let's bring that in. 110.55.
Figure change approved, SIA. Thank you for the control.
Todos los Golf, descenso 8000 pies, Madrid con H1017.
We're about 34 miles away, so even though the LS button is on, it may not populate just yet.
Número 8 y no te puedo responder en 4487. ¿Me podría dar un nuevo número?
Si no existe el 8, entonces es 4427.
Respondemos en 4427, Garonay 3407. Muchas gracias.
Easy 854, descend 6,000 feet, Malaga, QNH 1019.
Descend 6,000 feet.
So we actually overshoot the ILS a little bit. If you have a look at this, that is essentially the ILS approach. Runway extended centerline there, so we're coming into the Martin VOR, then it's a right-hand turn back on ourselves to make that approach.
100 to Boeing 941.
Center, good evening, Portugal 87 Echo with you, flight level 350.
87 Echo, hello, continuous file.
So Martin, the initial approach fix, and 6,000 feet. By that point, once patting Martin, we can descend to 4,800 feet. So let's start slowing this aircraft down. We're a little bit fast. Let's enter the approach phase. And
Easy 854, turn right, heading
manage speed
070.
checked.
Turn right heading 070, Easy 54.
So the flight plan sequencing looks a little bit strange there. I'm hoping for a right-hand turn in a minute. If not, we can do that manually.
Runner 3407, roda en punto, espera pista 21.
Landing lights coming on below 10,000 feet.
¿Estamos autorizados para hacer Batra a las 2-1? Baronai 3407.
Por el punto espera, pero si ya lo tienen aquí muy cerca, backtrack aprobado pista 21, notifiquen listo salida.
Notificamos listo salida, Baronai.
Tarek, mate, we're landing on runway 12. This is 110.55. That's the aircraft going the wrong way. So we're now descending to 4,800 feet.
KLM 701, Unicom 228, bye bye.
Unicom 6 for the service, bye bye, KLM 701.
AC3 for Alpha Mike, proceed to the right, direct Nepal, clear as approach, runway 12.
Clear the LS approach, runway 12, easy 3 for Alpha Mike.
Easy 854, expedite descent.
And we're direct to Nepal.
Speedbird 464, turn right, direct Nepal, descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1019.
Now, will I be able to actually go direct Nepal, or will I have to manipulate the heading book?
Waypoint again, Speedbird 464 and descend to 6,000.
Speedbird 464, 6,000.
Oh, that is taking us direct Nepal, so let's go back into managed mode.
Right to direct Nepal, Speedbird 464.
Easy 854, turn left, heading 250 degrees.
Turn left, heading 250 degrees, Easy 854.
And we need to maintain no lower than 4,800 feet until we are 15.8 miles away from the Martin VOR.
Spirit Express 3, le llamo Brave Breaker, Friends 13, Papa Tango, clear as approach, runway 3 to left, report established.
So the ILS detail's still not populated just there yet.
Tango, clear as approach, runway 3 to left. Spirit Express 0857, viento en calma, pista 32 izquierda, autoriza aterrizar.
So 48 blue, minimum safe altitude is
Polling 941, maintain present heading.
8, flight level 850, however, we're okay at this.
Scout 556, descend flight level 80, turn left heading 010.
There's the ILS now populated, so that's always a relief to see. So that's why we've got the terrain radar on. You can see that ahead of us. And we're going to be headed down the valley just there.
Hi friends, 13 Papa Tango Madrid.
France 13 Papa Tango.
Flight 13 Papa Tango, clear as approach, runway 3 to left.
Clear ELS approach, runway 3 to left.
So hopefully we'll go from Nepal to these waypoints that just got populated just here. No, it's now turning back direct to Martin, so we'll make that turn manually, shall we?
Boarding 941, speed 220 knots, please.
Speed 220 knots, Boarding 941.
Speed 464, after Nepal, cleared as approach, runway 12.
After Nepal, cleared ILS for 12, Speedbird 464.
Boarding 941, descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1019.
Descend 6,000 feet, Boarding 941.
Boarding 941, just to confirm QNH 1019, and proceed to the right, direct Nepal.
QNH 1019.
Love the terrain around this airport.
Boarding 941, proceed direct Marpur.
Just to confirm Nepal.
So we're currently 20 miles away.
Correction, Nepal. 941.
Estamos listos para el despegue, Baronai 3407.
So we're not quite on that track exactly, but that's alright for now.
Coruña 1902, 25 nudos, rachas 38, autoriza despegar, pista 21.
Autorizado para despegar Barunay 3407.
Can you just bring that a little bit over to the right? Oh, look at the windmills on the top of the hill. Let's not catch those, shall we?
Runway 8 left.
Flight 13 Papa Tango number 2, wind count, continue approach.
Continue approach.
Quevedo 2 Golf, descenso 6,000 pies.
So that's clearly why we can't descend any lower. 3,200 feet after 15.8 miles away from the Martin VOR.
Clear direct 12.
Any sooner, we may have hit them.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, speed 180 knots or more, please, until 60 ME.
Speed 180 or more until 60 ME. Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Easy 854, proceed to the left, direct Nepur.
To the left, direct Nepur,
And Easy 854, speed 220 knots or less, please.
So 15 miles away, in a moment we'll start that descent, which is almost going to be coming down with the glide slope.
Easy 854.
Skyway 556, descent flight level 70.
Flight level 70, Skyway 556.
Okay, down we go to 320.
257, bienvenido Madrid, rueda en Alfa, Hotel y Delta, están a discreción.
Alfa, Hotel, Delta, puerta de discreción, nivel 3857.
Let's get that down so we're not chasing that glide slope and we can perhaps intercept that from below, or at least be on track with it.
1 feet, proper thing.
EZ809 just passing PMOS. Further instruction, please.
Easy 809 at descent, flight level 130.
So we'll now go flaps 1 and hope we not get any ballooning effects. Speed check, flaps 1.
On this heading?
No, you should continue PMOS 1 Quebec arrival.
So there is a bit of a balloon effect going off there, isn't there? We may have to
Break, Skyway 556, left heading 330.
manipulate this a little bit more, because now we're well off profile for that.
Skyway 556, left heading 330.
Left 330.
The localizer we're about to capture as well in a moment.
Radar hologram Easy 9001.
However, now descending 1,400 feet per minute, so we should chase that glide slope a little bit. I'm just going to pull the speed brakes out.
9001, runway news is 13.
Lock
Clear
start.
destination Gibraltar. Initial climb 6,000 feet after departure. Maintain runway heading, squawk 4401.
And let's try and chase that glide slope, shall we?
Runway 13 for departure, initial altitude 6,000 feet. After departure, maintain runway heading, squawk 4401, Easy 9001.
Easy 9001, read back correct. Malaga, QNH.
Okay, we've got some light cloud which was in the METARs, so not too concerned, we'll break through that in a moment. Let's now go flaps 2.
941, speed 200 knots.
Speed 200 knots, going 941.
But we need to keep that speed up, so let's select 185 knots until 60 ME.
0 knots, stay there 464.
Skyway 556, speed 220 knots.
220 knots, Skyway 556.
Landing gear down.
For Alpha Mike, Malaga number 1, wind count, runway 12, clear to run.
Little on runway 12, easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Easy 854, speed 200.
So there's the runway in front of us.
Speed 200, easy
Radio altimeter is alive.
Easy 56,
Ground spoilers are armed. Nose wheel lights
to the right, direct
on.
Nepur.
Set flaps
Right turn,
3.
Nepur, Skyway 556.
Cabin check.
Madrid Control, good evening, with the 2367 at Santander, requesting IFAC clearance to Bucharest.
Wizz Air 2367, clear destination Budapest, Calce 5 Juliet departure. Runway 11, initial climb 6,000 feet, squawk 4404.
Clear to destination.
Okay, went through 6 miles DME, so
Juliet
full
departure,
flaps.
initially 6,000, squawk
Once we've
4404
slowed
with
that
the
down.
2367.
Wizz Air 2367, read back correct. Santander QNH 1009.
About 4.5 miles to run.
Ready for taxi.
Push start approved QNH 1009, report when ready taxi with 27.
River 464, just to confirm. Descend at your discretion if you're clear for DRS.
Descent to my discretion for ILS, Big Bird 464.
Spirit 904, correction, boarding 941, descend at your discretion.
Landing
Clear as approach,
checklist.
runway
Cabin is secured for landing. Auto thrust.
Descend
Speed.
discretion,
Go around.
clear
Altitude
pilot
is
is runway
2,200.
boarding 941.
Set.
Easy 854, descend at your discretion. Clear as approach, runway
And
12.
ECAM memo. Landing. Flaps full. No blue.
You can descend at your discretion. Brake, Skywest 3556, descend 6,000 feet. QNH Malaga 1019.
6,000 feet and 1019.
So you can actually see the other runway 13 to the right of us as we come in. It's not actually a runway though, it's just an image.
Ascenso para
Which
nivel
is
de vuelo 330
frustrating.
y procedemos directo, Mario, Baronay 3407.
Autopilot off, I have control.
Iberia 22 Golf, posterior has been, están autorizados y S32 de izquierda. Posterior has been, autorizados y S32 de izquierda, Iberia 22 Golf. 464, speed 180 knots,
approach
until
stable.
60 ME.
Continue.
Silver 464, speed 180 knots until 60 ME.
180 till 60 ME, speedbird 464.
Skybus 556, descend at your discretion after Nepur, clear as approach runway 12, number 4.
Descend after
And
Nepal
reverses.
for the ILS
Green.
runway 12, Skyway 5556.
Speed reducing.
Right now, Golf, limits back.
80 knots, reverses off.
Gotcha.
And we'll vacate right in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Malaga. The local
Malaga.
time is 10:23. Unfortunately, the temperature is currently a very cold 0 degrees
It's not,
Celsius.
it's 12. It is
32
12
Fahrenheit, so
degrees.
If you have a jacket or coat, you might want to put it on before exiting the aircraft.
Okay, there's no stop bars there, but we're
Please
well
remain
clear of the
seated
runway
until
now.
the aircraft arrives at the gate. You are reminded to keep all electronic
So we'll just
devices
hold her
switched off
there.
until you have entered the airport terminal. Thank you for flying with Easyjet.
And we'll just configure TCAS coming off.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, welcome Malaga, taxi stand of choice, bye bye.
Stand of choice and the runway vacated. Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Good night.
Spirit 464, wind calm, runway 12, clear to land.
Stand of choice. Where should we
Clear to
go?
land, runway 12, speedbird 464.
Boarding 941, reverse speed 180 knots until 60 ME.
180 not until 60
Let's
ME,
have a look.
941.
Science 1, 3, Papa Tango,
Okay, so the terminal's over here on the right.
My friends, 13 Papa Tango, thank you, taxi Alpha, gate 4, stand of choice.
Alpha and stand show.
So we're now just coming on to Delta. And I'm not actually seeing any signs here. How do I get tools on the tab on the EFB, Kareem? That's not available yet. It will be soon. It will be soon.
Iberia 33857 en plataforma, con motor detenido, citación de vuelo finalizado, liberamos frecuencia.
Hasta luego, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
So I'll make a right here.
¿No me copia bien 5 al 5?
Yakovic, you're about to land in 5 minutes. Good luck with the landing. Hope the experimental version works for you. Oh, right, can relax now.
894, descend at your discretion, speed 180 knots until 60 ME.
Speed 180 knots until TME, descent.
Sorry guys, don't talk too much during the landing. There's a lot to take care of in that one.
Until 6.
Particularly some of the coding wasn't correct.
TME,
And we had to just manipulate the aircraft a little bit to do it as we wanted to.
Speed 200 knots, Skyway 5556.
There doesn't look to be very much here, does it? In fact, I think I've gone past the... I've gone past it. Do you know what? We're going to make a U-turn. I was expecting there to be a little bit more than that. There's a random tug and a random piece of apron. Oh, Malaga needs some work. Malaga really needs some work. Strangely enough, we did have the ballooning effect still with flaps 1, which is a bit of a shame. So do me a favour guys, before you do disappear, hit that like button for me, and also consider subscribing to the channel if it's your first time here and you've enjoyed the flight today. It will be great to see you again. Turn on the notification bell as well and you'll be able to be notified instantly of when we go live. We do lots of live streams every single... we do lots of live streams throughout the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is definite. Monday is long haul Mondays or mileage Mondays, where we take the A320 outside of the EasyJet flight deck and we stretch its legs for usually a 5 or 6 hour flight. Chimu, I've no idea what stand I'm going to. I've just completely passed all of the stands, so we're going to take a left here and park somewhere. Dark Fury, can I do a keyboard landing? Absolutely not. I wouldn't know where to start. Second, the rest of Spain has been neglected while Madrid's being concentrated on. Fair enough. Well, we went to was it Bilbao we went to the other day? That was alright. But, yeah, there's not very much here, is there? This is looking very bleak. I have been here before in real life several times, but there's nothing here. It's the first time I've been here in the sim. So, sadly, I am rather disappointed with this. But nothing I can do with it. Right, well, we're just going to dump the aircraft here. We'll let someone else park it. Okay, so let's hold that just there. Get those taxi lights off. Not that there's anybody to blind. There's nobody here to greet us. How sad is that? Okay, oh, I didn't realise my coffee cup went to both sides. Why can't I click it? What happens if I click it? Ah! Does it disappear if you click it? Oh no! How do I get it back? I didn't realise you could do that. I've only just discovered that. I can actually click it and bring it back in. So I can now get refills. I can now get refills. Wonderful. APU's online. Let's close engine 1 and close engine 2 down. James Sim, how do you get the thrust reduction altitude for each airport? Right, so realistically you need the charts for that, and it'll tell you if they're using noise abatement 1 or noise abatement 2 procedures. That's what it's about. If you want a little bit more information about that, do check out my Real World Series tutorial videos, and they should hopefully help you with that. Right, we can disarm the doors, we can get the beacon light off. We can turn the seatbelt signs off. And, well, I'm going to open the doors, but I'm afraid you're all going to have to jump out.
Cabin crew, aircraft is secured, you can open the doors.
Okay, and do we have any external power available? No, we don't. Oh, typical. Right, they're opening the doors. It's time to bid our passengers farewell.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, I hope you enjoyed your flight with us today. On behalf of myself, Gavin, the first officer, the cabin crew, and everybody else in the chat room, we wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport, and we hope to see you again soon with the Easyjetsimpilot. Thank you for flying with us today, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Okay guys, I hope you've all enjoyed the stream tonight. Big thank you to every one of you for being on board with me this evening. Thank you to those of you that have liked the stream. Big thanks to those of you that have subscribed. And of course, as always, a massive thank you to those of you who have donated and contributed to the stream, either through the super stickers, super chats, or the PayPal link as well, for your very, very kind donations. Do join us on the Discord server as well to be notified of things that are coming up and things that are happening. And of course, if you need any help with the A320 or Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's plenty of us there to offer a helping hand, myself on there as well, of course. Thank you very much, everyone. I look forward to the next stream, which shall be Sunday evening. No streamings tomorrow, but I will be back on Sunday. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye bye for now.